Hello students, this is your Radharani ma'am and I am here to explain you phrases and clauses. Children, I know that many of you have a difficulty, many of you face difficulty in distinguishing between phrase and a clause. So today I am here to explain you in a simpler way the differences between a phrase and a clause so that you can identify both of them easily. So let us start. As you can see children, on the board I have made two columns, one of phrase and the other of clause. Now see children, what is a phrase? A phrase is a group of words. If you look at the column of clause, you will see that clause is also a group of words. So children, both phrase and clause are a group of words. But children, there is also differences between them. Now let us see what is the difference. Children, a phrase has no combination of subject and finite verb. Means a phrase doesn't have any subject or a combination of a subject and a finite verb. But if you see the clause, it has a combination. It has a combination of a subject and a verb, which we don't have in a phrase. So children, the next point is, a phrase doesn't express a complete meaning, but a clause may or may not express a complete meaning. Children, here I have written expresses a complete meaning, but I will write it may or may not. It may or may not express a complete meaning. Why? That I will explain you. So children, I hope up till this much it is clear to you. Phrase and clause both are a group of words. But a phrase, it doesn't have the combination of subject and verb. But children, a clause has a combination of subject and verb, right? Next is that a phrase doesn't express a complete meaning, and in case of clause, it may or may not express a complete meaning. Now let us see the examples. What are the examples of phrases? At the door. Children, can you see any subject over here? Subject means जिसके बारे में हम लोग बात कर रहे हो, ठीक है, जिसके बारे में या जिस चीज़ के बारे में हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं उस चीज़ को सब्जेक्ट बोला जाता है, राइट? यहाँ पे देखो कोई सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, ना ही कोई वर्ब है. At the door, down the stairs. यहाँ पर भी देखो बच्चों, यहाँ पर भी कोई सब्जेक्ट और वर्ब का कॉम्बिनेशन नहीं है, ना ही कोई सब्जेक्ट है और ना ही कोई वर्ब है. Along the beach, across the road. Children, in all these phrases, you see, they are all group of words. They are all group of words, but they do not have the combination of subject and verb. Subject और verb का combination यहाँ पे missing है. और एक चीज़ देखो, ये चारों के चारों phrase, क्या ये अपने में कोई meaning express कर रहा है? नहीं. It doesn't express any meaning. Can we say that they are meaningful? No. At the door, down the stairs. क्या ये कोई complete meaning suggest कर रहा है या express कर रहा है? नहीं. It doesn't express any complete meaning. It doesn't give a complete sense. So these are your phrases. Children, now I will move on to the clauses. See children, the clauses. I will go out if it doesn't rain. What did I say? That in your clause, you will find a combination of subject and verb. Children, this is the subject. I is the subject, right? And children, will is the verb. Will go is the verb. So children, here we have the subject and verb combination. Both subject and verb is present. Subject यानी कि जिसके बारे में हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? I के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, right? So यहाँ पे subject भी है और will go is the verb, verb भी है. तो clause में हम लोग को subject और verb का combination मिल रहा है. I will go out if it doesn't rain. Children, again there is another subject. It और एक subject है. Doesn't और एक verb है. तो हम लोग को यहाँ पर भी एक दो clauses मिल रहा है. In this sentence, I will go out if it doesn't rain. Children, we are getting two clauses in this sentence. एक क्लॉज में क्या रहेगा? एक सब्जेक्ट और एक वर्ब रहेगा. चिल्ड्रन, यहाँ पर हम लोग को एक सब्जेक्ट आई मिला है और एक वर्ब विल गो मिला है, राइट? और यहाँ पर चिल्ड्रन इट इज अनदर सब्जेक्ट, doesn't is a verb. So children, it is also another combination of subject and verb. तो यहाँ पे एक combination of subject and verb और यहाँ पे can you see I is subject, will go is verb. So this is one combination of subject and verb and this is another combination of subject and verb. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग को कितना clauses मिला? We got two clauses here. So let us come to the next example. He will come. He एक subject है, will come is the verb, right? तो यहाँ पर भी हम लोग को एक subject और verb का combination मिल गया. मतलब ये भी एक clause है. Whenever you call him, you एक subject है, call एक verb है. Children, here also we got a combination of subject and verb. मतलब इस sentence में भी हम लोग को दो clauses मिला. यहाँ पे एक clause, यहाँ पर और एक clause, right? और in the first sentence also we have got two clauses. This is one clause and this is one clause. This is clause number 1 and this is your clause number 2, right? And here also he will come. This is one clause and whenever you call him, this is another clause. This is clause 2. Okay, so here also in the first sentence we have got two clauses. In the second sentence also we have got two clauses. So what we find, children? Again, let us recapitulate. So we find that the major difference between a phrase and a clause is that a phrase doesn't have the combination of subject and verb, but a clause has a combination of subject and verb. This is the first major difference. Second major difference is that a phrase doesn't give a complete meaning. It doesn't express a complete meaning. Whereas a clause expresses, may or may not express a complete meaning. Now, why did I say may or may not express a complete meaning? Let us see it. I am rubbing this side of the board. Children, I am taking this sentence. I will go out. This is one clause. I will go out. Children, can you see? Here I is the subject, will go is the verb. So children, here we have got the combination of subject and verb. Yes. So can we call this to be a clause? Yes, it is a clause. Why? Because we have got the combination of subject and verb. I is the subject, will go is the verb. So we have got the combination of subject and verb. So we can call this a clause. Now let us see, does this clause express a complete meaning? I will go out. Yes children, it expresses a complete meaning. I will go out. It is a complete sentence because it gives a complete meaning. So children, this clause expresses a complete meaning. Expresses a complete meaning. Right? Now children, the next clause in the same sentence is, if it doesn't rain. If it doesn't rain. Children, if it doesn't rain, does it give us a complete meaning? No. It seems something is missing. It is not giving us a complete sense. Something is missing in this sentence. It is not a complete sentence. So children, if it doesn't rain, see children, it is the subject, doesn't is the verb. So we have got the combination of subject and verb, meaning it is a clause. But children, if it doesn't rain, does it give a complete sense? No, it is not giving a complete meaning, right? So children, that is why I said that a clause may or may not give a complete meaning. See children, in this clause, I will go out, it is a complete sentence. It is giving a complete meaning. But children, in this clause, if it doesn't rain, it is not giving a complete meaning. Children, the clause which expresses a complete meaning is called main clause. You can also call it principal clause. You can also call it principal clause. You can also call it independent clause. Independent clause. Why independent clause, children? Because it is able to express a meaning independently. But see children, if it doesn't rain, it is not expressing a complete meaning. But children, when I am reading this clause along with this clause, I will go out if it doesn't rain. Children, when I am reading this clause with the first clause, it is expressing a complete meaning. So children, this clause is dependent on the first clause. So this clause is called the subordinate clause or dependent clause or dependent clause. Okay children, so see, I will go out. It is expressing a complete meaning. So it is an independent clause or a main clause or a principal clause. But see children, this clause, if it doesn't rain, it is not expressing any complete meaning. But children, when I am reading this clause with the first clause, I will go out if it doesn't rain. If I call out the second clause along with, if I read out the second clause with the first clause, then it is expressing a meaning. So children, this second clause, it is dependent on the first clause to express a complete meaning. So children, this clause is called dependent clause. I hope it is clear to you that there are two types of clauses. That is, one is your dependent clause and the other is your independent clause. I hope you have understood. I will end my class here. Thank you.